We're live. We're live. Hello, hello, hello. Welcome, everybody. Sean, don't be so
What's
talkative.
up, everyone? Gibach, hello. Ida, welcome. Nikki, good to see you. Otis, hello. There's
Well, I
Eunice.
felt like I haven't talked all day. I didn't do a video today, so
You didn't do a video?
no.
Wow.
Holy moly. What's up,
Catching up
Farnwell?
on other things. I got a lot of stuff to catch up on before we head out next week.
I know. That's so exciting. Why don't you talk a little bit about that?
Yeah, we're heading to the A&A Money Show, which is next week. So we are making the drive from here in Northern California to Colorado. So it's to be about 2 days to get there.
Oh, you guys are going to have so much fun.
Yeah, the wifey hasn't had a decent road trip in a while, so she's getting it.
You guys going to see any of the talks?
Seminar?
Yeah, the
seminar?
seminars. Thank you. I couldn't think of the word. You gonna watch any of those?
Yeah, I plan.
maybe
Yeah,
going
we
to it
plan on watching a few of those. Even talking with Adam about doing a tour at the Denver Mint. So
Yes,
yeah, that'd be cool.
that would be really cool. I think you have to make I think you have to make reservations at the Mint.
Ooh.
I think you have to book a time. Book a time, I think. So maybe
Adam, check it out.
Yeah, maybe you should get online, Adam, and check and see about that. Booking your time, because it may be a pretty busy full time at the Denver Mint that weekend.
Okay, it says tour tickets.
Hey Kelly, I'm not sure. Have you encountered anything on Whatnot? I haven't seen anything, nor have I had issues on there.
Hacking? What happened?
I don't know.
It says here, tickets are for same-day tours only. No advance tickets are available. Tickets are distributed on a first-come, first-served basis.
Okay.
Limited to 5 per person. All visitors must be 7 or older.
Okay.
Opens at 7 o'clock Monday through Thursday.
Okay. I thought you had to book a time, but okay.
Monday through Thursday.
Offers up to 6 tours a day.
Monday through Thursday.
That's weird.
Yeah.
Tours are offered at 8 a.m., 9:30, 11, 12:30, 2, and 3:30, and last 1 hour and 15 minutes. It's got some dates that's going to be closed on.
Huh.
None of the dates that we're going to be there, though.
Okay, good. Good.
So
I have a question for the people in chat. I want to know if anybody knows who might be responsible for this. Speak now.
She wants to give credit where credit is due.
I want to say right. Thank you very much. This was a surprise. I literally just opened this tonight. Shannon didn't do it. No, nobody on the panel says they did it.
I wish I had done it. I will say that. I mean,
well, she is known as the Dream Crusher, so it's only going to be a matter of time before someone steps forward and does a custom creation like that beauty right there.
Dream Crusher.
It wasn't. No, it wasn't Adam. It wasn't anybody on the panel. So, no. And the box didn't have a card in it. It just came in a box wrapped up.
Is that like a regular sized coffee mug? Like
it's a regular sized coffee mug. It is.
Yeah.
Did it come from a distribution company, Paula?
It did.
That's how they got around it. That's how they got around putting their name on it.
Yeah, it came directly from whoever ordered it. But thank you to whoever did it.
Kyle says blame Kittle. He isn't here, so we can blame him.
It's very sweet. So, and Dirty Water coins. I got some stickers and some Edith Kanaka-Ole clashes. Thank you so much. I got one of the really strong ones. Thank you so much. Appreciate that. Anyway, this
That's
this
awesome.
is a crack. This is funny. This is hysterical.
You need a trucker's hat with that saying on there. You can wear it all over the place.
I think we should sell those on our website.
You think it was Ida? Was it you, Ida? Did you do it, Ida? I don't think so, because here's the thing about Ida. Ida's like I am. Like, she can't keep. What happened?
I'm just saying, I'm not convinced it's not that person over in the lower left.
Amanda?
I was like, no.
No, she said I don't think it was her, but Ida can't keep secrets like me. She's like, hey, do you want to see what I got you?
Right.
You want to see what my secret is?
My wife is the same way.
I am totally that way.
As a matter of fact, I just saw her in chat a second ago.
Every Christmas, I end up doing extra Christmas shopping because there's always a few Christmas presents that I end up giving early. I can't wait. So, yeah. So there's that.
Speak of the devil.
So let's talk a little bit about the semi-quincentennial, shall we? The CCAC had their meeting a few days ago, which is the Citizens Advisory Board or whatever for the mint, the people that vote on the coins that you guys get. And they decided on the nickel and the Lincoln cent. Now, we had talked about that before, how I was very disappointed that they decided to just do a little obverse tweaking and not a full, complete obverse and reverse redesign of those two coins. Well, the CCAC decided on just doing the dual date for those two. Just the 1776 with a little tilde and the 2026 separating the dates. So I'm a little disappointed in that. We still got the creepy Jefferson.
Creepy Jefferson.
A creepy Jefferson. But if you want to watch their latest meeting, you can go to the U.S. Mint's YouTube page and check it out, because there are some really neat new designs coming out. The Florida and the Texas, I think those two innovation dollars are fantastic new designs. You have to go watch how they came up with those. And then there's some gold coins that you guys might be interested in too for 2026 that they have decided on the designs for those. So yeah, so go check that out. Thank you, Sterling.
Sterling, thank you for the $2 super chat. Thanks for all you do. I see a like button on that. I'm going to like it.
Oh, you can like that?
Yeah.
Oh, you can like that.
And whoever, probably Amanda, who's probably signed up, she can do like a heart from the channel.
Oh, from the channel, yeah. So is that new?
Yeah, it's kind of new.
Huh. Well, that is handy. I like that.
I wish you could slap some emojis on there too or something, but that may be coming. Who knows?
So no, so they are Indigon. The other, so the dime, the quarter, and the $50 are still going to be full redesigns. Allegedly, let's put it that way, because they did change their mind on the cent and the nickel. But the dime, the quarter, and the $50 will still be full obverse and reverse redesigns.
What happens in 2027 then?
2027, they all go back to the original except for the quarter and the $50. The $50 will be a new program.
Oh, yeah, well, the quarter, I believe, after the semi-quincentennial is going to be a series on youth sports.
Youth sports, yeah.
From what I hear. Which, it's at that point I'm kind of indifferent about it. I mean, it's a cool subject. It's just to me it doesn't have like a long-standing collectability, in my opinion.
And then the $50 is going to be like a Special Olympics or something, isn't it?
Oh no, I haven't
Something,
my
yeah.
homework
But there's
on it.
there's a $50 program too. So yay!
Are they doing something different on the dollar coin for the
No,
semi-quincentennial? No.
nope. They will just be doing. They'll just be doing I guess the regular old things that they've been doing. I mean, they probably will have some type of design on it, but it won't be. It won't be like a special thing. As far as what I read, the only ones that are going to be changed are the circulating coinage up to the $50. So
Close your hands for a
They,
minute, Paula.
yeah, you know, it'd be cool. They did something with the Silver Eagle, like on the reverse, because you know how big that bullion coin is. They ought to do a large version of whatever design they put on the quarter.
yeah,
That would
You
be
know, or maybe bring back the Drummer Boy design from '76 and put that on the reverse of the Silver Eagle.
yeah.
That'd be kind of neat.
That would be neat. Or a Liberty Bell, like they had the Liberty Bell privy that they were talking about doing on the cent and nickel with the 250 written down the vertical down the bell. But something different.
They
Thank
can
you, Iraq
they can
veteran.
really
yeah.
open this up creatively. You know,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to see like a West Point coin, like they did a few years ago. Just kind of like,
Yes.
you know,
EMR said a West Point dime. That would be
Thank you,
sweet.
Dennis.
Thank you, Dennis. Thank you, Iraq.
So we know that they were playing around with the Liberty Bell privy for the cent and the nickel, right? They were playing around with that. They voted it out and decided just to do the dual date. They missed an opportunity in my opinion, they missed a big opportunity to do like 1 million of the cent and 1 million of the nickel with the Liberty Bell privy and send those out and do a coin hunt like they did with the W. Those W quarters brought in more new collectors than anything in many years.
and what's cool is they didn't have to play around with the composition. You know, they just kept it the same, and it was wildly successful. Hey, here's what I don't get, because we know back in the bicentennial program, you know, they had passed the bill like what 5-6 years before they were starting to do before the coin was released.
Mhm.
So they had all of this time to do the mock-ups, the drawings, to you know to do everything they can. It's plenty enough time.
Yeah.
I don't understand the rationale of not doing something different with the cent and nickel.
I don't understand it either, because I mean, I know that they, you know, it costs, those two cost more for the US Mint to mint than the other denominations. They lose more on those denominations, but they make it up with the other ones. They by far.
Oh
They
yeah,
make it up with the other ones.
they make a ton of money on the
A
quarter.
ton of money, yeah.
Ton of money.
But yeah, I don't get it either, because with the cent they can strike up to 1 million with a pair of dies, up to 1 million coins with a pair of dies. I mean, I don't get it. But
Well, at the same token, this semi-quincentennial program, I think they signed that bill like 4 years ago,
mhm.
and we're just now beginning to see mock-ups. It just doesn't make any sense. Like,
No.
what did they do in the last 3-4 years since the signing of the bill? It's a lot
Well,
of dead
John, look at all the new quarter designs, all of the crap that the Mint has put out. I'm sorry, US Mint, Ventress, if you're watching, it's just a fact. All of the coins the unnecessary coins that they have put out. You know,
Yeah.
I don't know, all the innovation coins. I know a lot of people like those, but the innovation dollars, the quarters, I mean, all of those. It's
Well, as much effort as they're putting into innovation dollars, I don't know if anyone's had any time to look at the mintages on the damn things. There's not a one. There's not a one business strike coin, I believe, that has over 500,000 mintage, unless you're talking about the first couple releases. So why are they even trying with that? You know, that's just, you know, manpower and and payroll money that they're allocating in completely the wrong direction. I don't know. It kind of drives me nuts when, money is just being pissed away. And
Yeah. I don't know. I thought that the new mint director was going to really bring it back, to the collector and put more emphasis on the collector and stuff like that. And they just haven't done it. They've had opportunities, and I mean, this semi-quincentennial, they've got such a huge opportunity with that. I mean, they could easily put out, 1 million of each of the denomination, each of the, the nickel and the cent, with very few dies that they would have to make. And they've already got all of the designs. I'm sure they've got them all digitized already for those. Yeah, I don't understand, but maybe we'll talk to them
Daniel, but nobody's asking for those because if they're only selling 8,000 reverse proof innovation dollars when they come out, nobody's asking for them. That's put out there out of necessity because it's a product that they know has a low cost basis, yet they could still sell them for $39.95 and make a shitload of money off of them. So no, that's a coin that nobody asked for. There's a few of them. There are a few coins just in the last 12 months that nobody asked for, and it's just being pushed out there.
Yeah.
I just said this was boring.
Huh?
I'm just gonna
boring.
say
No, you're not wrong.
I just said this was boring.
It is. So don't forget, you guys, the 16th of March coming up, week and a half on Ida Herring's channel, the St. Jude's auction. So make sure you guys are there. We have a video out that tells you how to pre-register to bid. Everybody who wants to bid in the auction has to be pre-registered, and it's super simple. It takes less than 2 minutes to do it. It doesn't cost you a dime. Just makes things a lot simpler for everybody involved in the auction. So all the money, your payments, everything is done directly to St. Jude, so there's no middleman. So make sure you guys check out our video. Go subscribe to Ida Herring's channel. And if you missed Shannon on the Coin Show podcast this last Saturday, make sure you go check that out. He got to hang out with Jack Young and Young Jack and T the Silver Stacker, and Matt and Mike. So go check that out. It was a lot of fun to watch them. So
Mike was here a little earlier, but he said he had to split. And
he did.
Yeah.
So I know. Start dealing the stickers. I'll make it rain. I'm gonna make it rain. Make it rain. Anyway, sorry, I gotta put him down. I fidget. Okay, well, does anybody have any other news? Welcome, everybody. Thanks for coming. Make sure you guys hit that thumbs up. Subscribe, tell your friends. Anybody have any more news? No?
Well, there's a few people that may or may not be aware, but the person that was doing the TrueView photography for PCGS now works for GreatCollections.
Right.
Yeah, I wasn't sure if everybody knew that, but yeah, that's.
And I have not heard good things about whoever PCGS is using for their photography now. So I don't. Oh, one more thing. Ben the Coin Geek put out a great video today for those of you who poo-poo Annex or even ICG, the old ICG. He did a crossover of some coins from one coin from ICG and I think about 6 coins, something like that, from Annex to PCGS. I think you guys would be very interested to go watch that. It's really interesting. So go check out Ben the Coin Geek video, and if you make a comment, tell him Live Coin Q&A sent you. I like Ben the Coin Geek. Sorry.
Cool.
So do I. He's cool.
He's really cool. Yeah.
You need to get him on the channel.
I know. That's what I'm saying. All right. So we ready to look at some coins?
Sure.
Okay.
Imagination.
Imagination. What happened? Hang on. There we go.
You broke it.
I did. I broke it. Whoops. So,
Bring it down.
welcome to the live coin Q&A for March 4th, 2024. Oh, Amanda, that's not fair. We got like a... Okay, Amanda, read it.
Well, this one is for Shannon and Sean, and it is from Ida Heron.
You guys can talk about that. I know nothing. I know nothing.
Well, I can read what I found out because I had no clue about what these were. But I think she also talked to you a little bit, didn't she, Sean?
Yeah.
So I don't know how much you know, but I know that there was a good article in Coin World that I found. And what you're seeing there is called a remainder note. And if nobody knows what that is, like I didn't know what it is or is, apparently, so before the U.S. and stop me if I say something wrong, Sean, that you know different, but apparently the federal government before they started issuing paper money, then there were like a few thousand private banks that would issue their own money, and what would happen is that some of the banks would fail before they got these notes out into circulation. I think that all the notes from those old banks are considered obsolete notes, if I'm not mistaken. But in the course of what was obsolete, it was because the federal government started making cash money. So once those notes became obsolete, then there was also the moniker of the remainders, which were produced by a bank but never put into circulation for whatever reason. Some of it was the bank going under before they put it out into circulation. Another one was that the banks combined, one bank bought out another or something like that. So it's kind of like the remainders are kind of like leftovers, I guess. They never went into circulation. Does that sound right, Sean?
You hit the nail on the head. That is exactly what it is. It's essentially new old stock. Like they printed way too much of the stuff in anticipation for a short of actual physical money. So this is more or less a replacement. The same way that Civil War tokens existed and things of that nature. Hard times tokens, they were produced as a secondary medium to help pay for goods and services back in the day, especially when actual U.S. coin and paper money was non-existent. It left the banks with no other choice other than to produce their own money, and that's what this is.
Gotcha. And Ida mentioned they were never signed either, if that's correct. That's what she was understanding.
The remainders, they could either be signed or not. It really depends on who the office personnel, like a treasury or a president of that bank. They'll either sign the sheets as they're being done and delivered, or they'll just leave them blank. As part of the new old stock, and then they'll just be stored away in boxes and things of that nature. And that's why they come out even 160 years later in such really nice shape. And the Canal Bank of Louisiana was one of the more common ones coming from the south region of the U.S.
That's cool.
Very cool.
Anyway, yeah, let's just throw it out there. And Ida, has a few of these. So I think that's kind of informational for everybody.
There's a really awesome book on obsolete currency. I forgot for the life of me who wrote about it, but I think you could find it on Amazon. I don't have a copy for myself. I've thumbed through one before, and Yeah, consider it like a huge rabbit hole. If you kind of fall into it, if you want to do options there are events, and there are lots of tournaments too. So there's a lot of things.
Sean, I think you just fell in a can. That it sounded like really muffled for a while there.
Oh,
Okay.
good.
Now it's better.
Now it's better. Now I'll just shut up. That's
No.
that's when you know you're talking too much.
No, we missed about like
You
the
were
last.
you were saying it's a deep rabbit hole to go into.
It is. Yeah.
So, yeah. Cool.
You fell in the pool. Adam, you're up.
All right.
My
Is this
microphone is on my computer.
Is this a 1983 D Jefferson nickel, a rare error from Carl P? Hello, coin Q&A panel. When I saw this post by Mr. Potter, I had to search my collection to find this example of one. It took a moment or two. On the obverse, it appears to be extra thick letters on IGWT and God We Trust, and the mint mark appears to be a D over D RPM. I would love to know the panel's expertise on both. Now on the reverse, according to the letter, which is well over my head, laugh out loud. It states the dies were messed up. Does it make this coin a rare error, or is it as common as a MD coin, machine done?
Yeah, this is Ken did a post on. He actually wrote kind of a little article on this and stuff. I think this was his letter to somebody at the Mint, I believe. Can't really read what the letter says, but basically there you go. So it says, Dear Mr. Potter, this is in response to your letter dated May 18th, 1984, which you enclosed a 1-cent coin dated 1983 and a 5-cent coin dated 1983p. Your question concerning these two coins go beyond those associated with dieware. We believe these coins were struck with dies which were not properly heat treated. Premature orange peel surface texture, die sinking, and die spreading were experienced by a small fraction of dies in all denominations from early 1982 to early 1983. The cause appears to have been insufficient separation between dies during oil quenching, resulting in excessively slow cooling of the innermost dies and some dies which were not fully hardened. Such dies would spread under repeated loads and could account for wider letters, closeness to the border, and other characteristics. The 10-cent proof coin dated 1983 without a mint mark was struck by a die which was inadvertently sent to the mint at San Francisco. So that's the no S dime that he sent in. The only time coins without a mint mark were produced in San Francisco for general circulation was 1975, when about 70 million 10-cent coins were struck. Your coins are being returned to you with this letter. So these coins were basically struck with improperly heat treated dies, which just contributed to excessive die wear. So that's the resulting appearance. And from that letter, it sounds like many of the dies from 82 and 83 suffered this fate. It's very cool in appearance. I would be more apt to call this a die error as opposed to like a die deterioration. Although there is die deterioration with it, that's a consequence of the error in making the dies.
Matt wants to know if that accounts for the 5 on the cheek then.
That does not account for the 5 on the cheek. Great question. But these are cool, and these are really cool in appearance. So,
it is different.
Like I said, I think I don't know how Sean feels about it, but my opinion is that The excessive dye wear is a result of the actual error, which was the improper heat treating of the dyes initially.
So does that make the dyes softer to a point
I
where
think so. I think
yeah.
so. Yeah.
I saw it and I'm like, man, it kind of looks like a modern version of Longacre doubling.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. So it definitely happened during the initial creation of the dye. And I think, like I said, I think that the dyes were soft, like Sean said, and it just made the dyes wear out faster. So you're seeing those radial flow lines. So it's both. It's got both the air on the dye, which is improper heat treating,
Now you're in a
and
barrel,
the
Paul.
resulting. Huh?
Now you're in a barrel.
I am.
Yeah, I don't know what happened.
Is that any better?
Yeah, you're better. Better
Now
now.
you're good.
God, I gotta swallow this microphone, I guess. Okay. Anyway, so yeah, really cool article by Ken. I think the same thing happened. We showed it before. There's quarters that have excessive dye wear. They call it design devouring dye wear. And I think one of the Homestead quarters, was it the home? No, not the Homestead. I can't
Harper's
remember.
Ferry.
Harper's
Harper's
Ferry,
Ferry.
yeah, the Harper's Ferry corridor has that design devouring dye wear. And I think
Was that the one that looked really mushy?
yes.
Yeah, like
Yeah.
super
Okay.
mushy.
Yeah, super mushy. And I think that also was caused from improper heat treating of the dyes, which made them really soft and just more prone to be worn out.
So Joe's asking if we think that would be common for that year's, based on what the mint, you know.
According to that letter, it said that it said several of the dyes. It happened to several of the dyes, so it depends. Now, not all the dyes they create are actually put into use. So they make many more dyes than they actually use most of the time. So it depends on whether those dyes were put into use or not, and how many coins were actually struck with the dyes before the dyes failed. I imagine these dyes failed probably pretty rapidly.
Yeah, there was some serious overproduction during the 80s. And
Yeah.
I've remembered seeing a few of those like 83, 84 nickels that look like that. So they're not particularly rare, I'm going to say.
Right.
Cool. So Caterpillar Strike Through from Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles. Hello, panel. Paula asked me to send over some pictures of this strike through. I found this in a customer wrapped roll. It looked odd to me, but I was 99% certain it was a strike through. Not sure what caused it. Thank you all for your help and expertise. Thanks, Dirty
This
Water.
is so cool.
Yeah, it is, isn't it?
Yeah, this one's really cool.
Really nice shape, too. I like that.
It is,
Mhm.
yeah. Isn't that cool?
Struck through caterpillar.
It looks like a caterpillar.
That's
I
what it
think
looks
it's
like.
really cool. Now, we could sit here and guess on what this is. I don't think it's reading. If you look at either end of this, I think like that was it. Whatever, that's the entire shape of it. It could be, I suppose. It could be some detached reading. I don't know. We could debate on what we think this is forever. But really, we're just kind of guessing. It doesn't really matter. It would just be labeled as struck through anyway.
Right. Unless whatever it was still in
Yeah.
there.
Unless like John Sullivan looked at it and he knew exactly what it is. And he's like, yeah, that's reading. So he would know better. You know, people who have looked at these things and seen multiple examples would know better than me. I know what it is. I just don't know what caused it. I mean, exactly what caused it. Because it's pretty unusual.
Yeah, it's pretty sweet.
And this is something that 99% of the people who don't know anything about coins will assume it's a contact mark.
Yeah. But it's very deep, deep enough that I would think if this was damaged, you would see some of the copper core. And it doesn't show through on the reverse. I mean,
not to mention the edges of the anomaly are very sharp and they have no buildup whatsoever.
Right.
Yeah.
Right. Exactly. I mean, I kind of think it looks like some kind of chain, but I don't know.
Frostbite said a screw, maybe.
Maybe it
Might
could
be
be a piece. It could be a piece of a screw. Maybe.
Yeah.
I don't know. But see, that's what I'm saying. We could sit and go. I mean, there are probably multiple
It's
things.
a roly-poly. No,
It's a roly-poly. Looks kind
Or
of
it's
like
a butterfly cocoon.
It could be.
Or, it could be a curled shaving to a brand new set of collars that they put on the presses. I mean, it's kind of hard to say. It sure is neat, though.
It's really hard to say. There's really no. What?
What? Talking about the cricket. He said caterpillar, and I said it was a cricket.
There's not a whole lot of texture inside of it to guess that way, so I don't know. But it's very cool. Either way, it's very cool.
That is very cool.
Yeah.
Awesome.
My turn. What is this kind of error called from Gary? I have not seen anything quite like this. I do not know. Sorry, my grandkids are in the background, you guys. I'm not seeing anything like. Okay, I'm going to mute. Somebody else read this, please.
I have not seen anything quite like this. I do not know what words are used to describe it for the purpose of a search for references. It's a 1996 P dime, looking like the die used to make the grooves. I can't read. Around the outer edge, hit the face of the coin. Thanks.
Oh, color clash.
No. Yeah.
Yep.
We've talked about those before, haven't we?
Mm-hmm.
It is a color clash.
These are cool.
The third side of the coin. Yeah, that is cool. And on a dime.
Yeah, these are fun to find. Oh. Sorry, you guys. I got my kids and my grandkids living with me, and they try to keep it quiet, but it's just not always possible. So
you're fine.
Sean, you want to read this one?
Sure. Help. Are these hot lips? From Amanda S. I'm hoping you might be able to help me identify this possible error. I was coin roll hunting and came across this 1967 dime that appears to have doubled lips and maybe doubling around the eye. I can't find any info regarding this date. I found a newly discovered 1964 hot lips from 2015, but nothing for the 67 dime. Anyway, I would like to thank you in advance for any help or clarification you can provide.
This is interesting.
Very interesting.
Very nice.
Yep.
I have a 64 that I just found, and I was going to show it to you all so you guys can see it.
I mean, it pretty much looks like the 64 that's listed.
Yeah.
Or very similar.
I found a couple of them. Roll. These are really cool. 55 also. 55S has one also, which is.
You can see it in the eye too.
Yeah, you can see it on the eye.
Hold my thing up here.
Yeah, those are very cool. Isn't there a couple of those in the new Cherry Pickers guide, or am I imagining things?
No, there is.
Not in there yet.
The Roosevelts.
They're not in there yet.
You're thinking
They're
of the
not?
Bennies, right?
Nope. Here, I'll pull the Bugs Bunnies are.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah,
that's
my-
right.
yeah.
Okay. That's right. That's what I'm thinking of. Well, crap.
Which I think they should be in there because they're really nice.
Yeah, so let's
Yeah.
talk about this. Yeah, let's talk about this a little bit. Because it definitely has the same height, right? It's not like flat and shelf-like, but it does look like it's kind of taken away from part of the design. So these are interesting to me.
Yeah, I think when I was looking at it, I tried to do an overlay.
Yeah.
And it looked like what you were saying, like the top,
Yeah.
the bottom. It doesn't necessarily
Add to it.
take much away. Yeah, it doesn't necessarily make it that much bigger, if any. But it was also.
It looks like it makes it smaller.
Yeah.
And I got mine
So,
up.
so they are calling these double dies, huh?
Almost look
No.
like mine. Almost looks identical to the 67. It's kind of crazy.
Yeah.
That's different than what we're looking at.
This is a 64. And this is a Wetzler WD.
Yeah, that looks different than what we're looking at.
Than a 67.
That looks different than that one.
Well, it is probably a little bit different, I'm sure.
But see, yours, there's no delineation. Like it just adds to it. It's just like one. It's all the same height. You know what I mean? Like
Yeah.
This is cut into. It looks like.
Kind of looks like the top of his lip is like,
sticking out. See, mine's a later die state example though, because if you look at the earlier die states, it's a little bit.
It's stronger.
Yeah.
Like the pictures
Yeah, I
on
would get that one looked at. I would get this one looked at.
That was what I suggested, was probably have to have somebody look at it in hand.
Yeah.
Yeah, because the 64 is WDDO number 9.
Yeah, yours is different to my eyes. Like yours definitely looks like a double die. This, I got questions.
You got questions about the 67?
This one that we're looking at, yeah.
Okay. That one is interesting though. It almost looks like a Bugs Bunny.
Yeah, well, that when I first looked at it, I thought it was a clash, but then I'm like, no, that bottom lip, it doesn't. I think that's part of the bottom lip.
Well, you could also see it on the eye as well.
Right.
Yeah. And on top of the nose, it looks like it has either that's doubling or
that's
a clash.
cut in the nose right there. That's not doubling.
Okay, that looks like.
I think that's more machine doubling.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. So I don't know. I would get somebody that can look at this in hand and give their assessment, because
I would send it to Wiles probably.
Yeah. I don't know. But yeah, just get it looked at in hand. I wouldn't sell it as a double die right now until you get it looked at, if that's what you're intending on doing.
Emar was asking if the nose shows clashing, and I think he means like the bridge, because it does kind of look that way. But
it does look like there's a little bit of a clash on top of right in front of the eye, on the nose. You see in front of the eye, there is a little bit of a clash there from the. Is it the olives or whatever in the back?
The leaves.
The leaves.
Yeah.
Isn't the 67 the date with the nice FS 101 DDO on it?
I believe so. Yes, Sean. Correct.
Yeah, I don't know.
I mean, I wouldn't put it past me. I mean, it definitely is very intriguing. So I would definitely send it off to somebody for sure.
Yeah, definitely. I would definitely have it looked at, because at best, you've got a new discovery. At worst, it's machine double.
Right.
So, either way, it needs to be looked at, because
it'll cost you $10 to get it looked at, right?
Exactly.
So.
And it could be a big dog if it does turn
Could
out
be.
being a nice dye variety. I mean, think about that's pretty strong. That could
Yeah.
be a very, so.
It could be, but some of that machine doubling it can be really
Very
tricky
deceiving.
and deceptive. Yeah, we talk about that all the time when people get upset with themselves because they don't know the difference or can't tell the difference. We've said that many times. We see it all the time where there's ones where we go, I don't know, so
Yeah, happens all the
yeah.
time.
So whose turn is it?
Sean.
Mine, I think.
Oh, Sean didn't go yet, did he?
Yeah, I went.
you went that one?
I
Okay.
read. I just read that one there on the.
Yeah. Sure, Amanda.
Possible 1984 Lincoln WDDO number 11 doubled ear from Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles. Good morning, afternoon, or evening panel. I stumbled across this 1984 Lincoln with the possibility of being the WDDO number 11. It looks good to me, but I'm not seeing the two die markers. Can you let me know your thoughts? I can't begin to thank you all enough for what you offer this community. Each one of you are a blessing to us all. Thank you.
Oh, that's nice, Dirty
Oh,
Water.
that is so nice to hear.
Thanks for your
That is
support.
so nice to hear.
I think I looked at this one, if I'm not mistaken.
Well,
Yeah,
that's
I do.
different.
Now, I looked at this one, and I think I looked at it, and I had thought it was a different one. So let me hold on a second. I think there was my email had a response to this one. 1 second.
Oh. Well, I'm going to use this a little opportunity while you're looking up to do a little bit of teaching here. So, see up by In God We Trust. See that little ring around the rosy there? See how it's like elevated? That's called a ridge ring. And you're going to see a lot of these, especially in the 80s. And that's lighter. And sometimes it makes like In and God, and it makes them look like there's an extra set of letters like stretched underneath it or above them. But that's all that is. Just a ridge ring. So, you guys
Adam.
know what you're looking at. Go ahead.
He said you thought it was DDO 12.
Yeah, WDDO number 12.
DDO 12.
Because 11, if you look at 11, this one's more south than, I think this one's more on the bottom tip of the ear versus on the Wexler example. It's a little bit more on the west side.
So you thought it was 11?
No,
12.
12.
No, 12.
Which is more south.
12.
Well, this one he has is pretty worn out.
His is not 11.
No. And that's my thought was
the picture on Wexler's for 12 is crappy.
Crappy, exactly. So it made it difficult to determine which one it was. But Dirty Water, I think you're talking about Kaneka. We're looking at Wexler.
Yeah, 12. I mean, it would be in the right place for 12 but there's so much shadow on that.
There's
photo.
So much shadow, yeah. That was my thought too. I was like, well, it's the closest one out of all of them that kind of matches, but it's really tough to tell. So.
And here, this is another example, another one that I would probably have looked at just to make sure.
Yeah.
I probably would send it in just to make sure. Because that picture, yeah.
I would send it to Wexler because even though Wexler's not doing the
no, but the guys are.
The guys are, and they can probably go and compare it and say, "Oh yeah, this is a number 12 versus a number."
Yeah, because they probably have the original photos and stuff that they can pull up.
So.
Yeah. So did anybody look at Chuck's site, Copper Coins?
I looked on there. I didn't find one. I
Okay.
didn't find one that matched.
Okay.
ATOG's asking if there's a link to Coneca listed varieties.
Well, that's varieties, isn't it?
I don't think.
No. There is a list. There is but I believe that you may have to be a member to access their files, and you should be anyway. If you like varieties and errors, you should be a member of Coneca. Let me grab the. Let's see. Copy. Let me post this in the chat, and you can see if you can get in there. So just go to their main site and then go to services, and you'll see the master list. And then you should be able to find it from there.
Nanostax, I'm not sure if you're seeing my response, but I put my response in the chat for you. Just letting you know.
Whose turn is it? Adam's.
Adam.
Double die or machine doubling from Abel F. Hello, I found this little coin and change. I have a question. Will it be a double die or machine doubling? Thank you. Oh, I think this one was another one I looked at.
Oh.
There it is.
Oh,
there you go.
Yeah, definitely.
So let's see.
Definitely.
And I looked it up, and I think this is number 3. FS 103. It was either this one or 108, but 108's got stronger doubling in the date, and 103 is not as pronounced in the date. Eric Byer might be able to help us out. He's in here.
Is he in there?
Yeah, he's in the chat.
Let's see. I'm going to look at.
Pretty sure this is 103 though.
Hang on.
Eric said it looks like 3.
Okay.
It's nice.
Oh, yeah.
Whichever one it is.
No, these are great to find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially when you get your change back and you're like, what?
Yeah, that's a nice find to find.
Yeah.
Right. Very cool.
I cherry picked one of these at Mike's table in Grove.
Nice.
In a nice gym condition too.
Okay, Adam.
I already read this.
Needed that one.
I mean, Shannon.
How come I'm always getting stuff from Dirty Water?
Because we all.
He just keeps finding stuff. I don't know. 1935 Buffalo, my first, my precious, from Dirty Water Coins and Collectibles. Hi, panel. I was stoked when I found this Buffalo in a circulated Fed-wrapped Loomis roll. This is my first ever doubled Buffalo. I believe it to be the FS 801. Obviously, it's worn, but it's a beauty to me, and I'm keeping it. Check it out.
Wow. In a circulated Loomis wrapper. That's crazy. Yeah. I want to see 5 cents. That's what I want to look at right now.
Yeah, look at Plurb.
Look at that.
There it is. There it is. Big time. Money shot. Woo. Nice.
That's crazy.
Yeah, that's a good one. Look at the notches in the bottom there.
Oh yeah, the E.
Yeah, the I, the E, the other E, the T.
The T.
The 4 E's. All 4 E's.
And these in uncirculated condition are fantastic. I mean, this is great too. You can see it. It's super, especially if you know what you're looking for. But in uncirculated condition, like it's really extreme.
Not only that, valuable. A non-circulated condition, you're talking several hundreds of dollars, maybe thousands.
Beautiful.
Nice.
Well, in uncirculated, you could see the clear splitting.
The separations. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Hey, it is incredibly strong.
God, I love that Eon 5. It's just so
Mhm.
cheap.
The step and the T. Look at that step.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's really cool.
Wish I lived around his area.
Not on the cheek, but from Numismatic. Came across. I love you guys so much. They're so awesome. Came across this one going through a box of halves and thought it might be of interest to at least one member of the panel. Oh, what is this?
Which one might that be?
Oh my goodness.
That's hilarious.
Wow.
That is hilarious.
That is hilarious.
It's a 5 on the back of the neck.
Could be me.
So I have to tell, because I showed everybody in our chat, but I found one of the Wisconsin lowleaf varieties on my quarter, and it was where someone had scratched in a leaf like that.
Oh god.
Hilarious.
Oh my gosh.
You're in that area too, where they release those.
Yeah, I know. I've never found either of them, but I'm keeping that one just because I thought it was hilarious.
So
Yeah, apparently Shay's found a few of them. I wonder why.
Shay has found several, he said.
Yeah.
that looks like a rope. It looks like a rope.
It does,
Yeah.
doesn't it?
That's hilarious.
That wasn't done
Thanks
on
for that
purpose.
laugh, noob.
Okay,
Oh, cool. Farm dog.
Sean, this is the one that we wanted to ask Sean about, remember?
Okay.
Oh yeah.
Well, I might as well read it. Serena G, $20 bill, ink contamination. Hi, everyone. I found this ink contamination error the other day, and I wanted to share my find. I sent a pic with a normal 20 above it so you could see the difference. Any info on these types of errors would be welcome. Thanks for your time.
So tell us what you think you might see, and we'll tell you what we were talking about.
Oh, you mean the bottom note with the
the bottom note is the one that
very dark green district seal, and
yes. Now, our thought was that it was fresh ink rather than being an ink contaminant.
And you're right. That is exactly what it is. I don't see any hint of black, and that makes sense because on that side of the plate, there isn't two wells right next to each other that has black and green ink.
Okay.
So the opportunity for contamination is non-existent.
That's kind of what we thought, but we wanted to run it by you first. So
yeah. Well, and not to mention they're only being found on dollar bills, and the big reason why is they're still having issues with their new printing press that they're using to apply specifically the overprint on 1s, 2s, and 5s. So they're using a completely different brand of printing press for that application, and they've had issues with it for about the last 6-7 years. So that's why we're seeing the inkwell contaminations on the dollar bills and not on any of the higher denoms above a 5.
Okay.
So go back to that first picture with the two bills, please. Okay, so the other thing that kind of throws it a little shade difference, I think, is that the top one has a lot of wear, and you can see where a lot of the ink is light, like in his vest area and the top of the note and the bottom where the border is. It's got a lot of wear on it, so I think that accounts for part of the difference as well, maybe. Yeah, the hair area too.
Cool.
Sweet.
This one's cool. Who wants to read this one?
Amanda has to.
Oh.
That's what you get for going first.
That's right.
Yep. Matching pair of $1 bills from Keith S. Thought I would send these photos of a matching pair of $1 bills that I found recently. After searching through approximately 176,000 bills, I finally found these two matching zip code notes. Zip code corresponds to Cleveland, Utah. The top one is uncirculated and the bottom one is circulated. I have yet to find a zip code note of anywhere I have lived over the years, but hope to find one someday. Thank you to you and the panel for the education that you give us.
Thanks, Keith.
This one's cool. Very cool.
It is cool.
It's from the same. It's 2017A. The only difference is it's from a different run. So you have H on the top and D on the bottom. Same number though. Same district. Pretty
Yeah.
crazy.
Yeah, that's neat.
That is cool.
Man, that takes a whole lot of
Yes.
searching to find that.
It's got to.
176,000.
How many
It's
notes?
got to.
How many notes did we're gone through?
176,000.
My goodness.
Yeah, that's a lot of notes. I don't think
Yeah.
I've touched that many in my lifetime.
Hey, show this one to Sam. He'll probably like to see that one. You probably should show that to Sam.
Yeah.
So he'd probably like
He would probably like that. Cool. Your turn, Adam.
$1 million note from Edward H. I found this bill while strapped searching. If you look at the left serial number, the 6 is almost missing. There are a few wrinkles along the top edge and 1 or 2 on the bottom edge. I am thinking about getting it graded. With a high number of attribution and error attribution for the 6 on the left side, I'm trying to find one that's been sold with a number. I haven't found it yet. Let me know what you think, and thank you for all you do for the coin community.
So I answered Edward on this one,
Ooh, that's cool.
and it is, yeah, it's a great. The serial number is great because it's very high. It's a flipper because you
Oh
got
my God,
6,
yeah.
9, and zeros. But I think there's a little bit of an insufficient inking maybe on that 6, but I don't think that error is going to be strong enough to really increase the value that much. And I probably wouldn't recommend getting it graded necessarily. If you look at the reverse, it's also a little off center, a little bit to the north.
Oh yeah.
So I don't think it would benefit necessarily. If he's going to sell it, just sell it as it is, because you're going to get the money for it anyway with that serial number.
Definitely. Yeah.
They call this particular fancy serial number millions notes. So when you have a single or a double digit to lead off the serial number, and then you need at least 6 ending zeros, they call that millions. The notes generally, by today's BEP standards, the notes that end in 4 zeros and 4 nines, they call them rollovers. They're generally pulled out of the run, so they're not supposed to circulate. So finding one out there is kind of a nice. I mean, when I do my fancy serial number reports, I've actually reported on a few notes like this, and they tend to sell for about $100. They're not a cheap note.
Oh, and Noob is saying it's the last note in the run. Is that the highest number that you can have?
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
I didn't even think about that.
Yeah.
They only do for regular circulation 96 million per block. So that's
like getting number one.
The value of this note quite a bit higher.
Yeah, Numismatics at 2,500.
Yeah, any number above this is withheld to be sold on the BEP website or the US Mint, or one and the same now these days, as a novelty.
Oh, Kelly's.
So,
sorry. Kelly's.
Yeah.
So yeah.
A lot bigger deal than it looks.
Right.
Me personally, I would be interested in buying this note if it came up for sale.
Now, if it were me, I would grade it, but that's just me.
Yeah, well, it's one that doesn't need to be graded because
Well, yeah, true. It speaks for itself. Yeah.
Yeah,
Exactly.
the insufficient inking, it's inconsequential. The serial number is what really makes this one.
Yeah.
That's nice.
Yeah. Pretty sweet.
Well, Shannon, another nice long. We got a lot of long ones tonight.
Me. Okay.
But it's worth it. Damn, I love these things.
Right. 1975 D nickel high misplacement mark from Tyrone L. Been watching your videos for a while now, since 2016, and I noticed in your most recent Pocket Change Market Report video that you were talking about the 1975 D nickel with the high D mint mark. I found one of these in a bankroll back in 2018 when I was around 13 to 14 years old, and tried to do some research on if this was an actual variety or not, but I did not find any info on it. So at the time, I was about to throw it back into circulation due to the low condition of the coin, but I kept it in a flip only because I have never seen a mint mark placed that high on the coin. Over the years, I have seen a few videos of you mentioning it sometimes, but this time I couldn't help but email you when you said the last one went over. Oh, you went over in your video, sold for $500+ bucks. Below, I attached some images of that nickel that I found. I think he's talking to you, Sean. I know the condition is not good, as good as the one in the video, but I was thinking this was between a F12 to F15 grade coin with some nicks and gunk on it. Now that this variety is starting to gain some traction, I plan to hold it until it becomes an official variety in the Cherry Pickers Guide, as I think that would be a catalyst to bolster the price further once it becomes officially recognized as a real variety. Not sure what the value could be in this condition, and just wanted to ask what you think I should do from here. My mother and father gave me the.
So actually, this has been popular on and off since it was discovered.
Right.
Here is my suggestion to all of you, especially if you own one of these. I believe there is a place in the last Cherry Pickers Guide that tells you how you can go about submitting for the next Cherry Pickers Guide. I think. If not,
well, Paula,
yes.
This one designated as the FS901.
FS401.
Or 401, yeah.
Who has this designated?
NGC has it listed as a FS401 new listing.
NGC has it. Right.
Mm-hmm.
It is, but it is not. But listen, the only reason they have that listed is because it was given. Who found this?
Weinberg.
Yes.
Weinberg.
Because Fred Weinberg gave it that FS number.
In his own named auction.
Yes, Fred Weinberg.
A year and a half ago.
Yes.
And that's why it has a lot more eyeballs on it. It's because of his public sale.
So. Hey, here, let me explain
let me explain something. He gave it a cherry pick. He gave it an FS number. It does not have an official FS number. You can go to PCGS and see that. It does not have an official FS number. Fred Weinberg is the only one who got it graded by PCGS. So my suggestion is to write anybody you guys know that may be editing the next Cherry Pickers Guide, because that's who this would go into, and ask and request that this particular variety be officially given an FS number and be one that PCGS will recognize. Otherwise, you have to send it into NGC, and PCGS does not recognize this.
Well, here's the thing. Now, this is what happens with NGC. When they list as a new listing, it does go up as a cherry. They somehow get information before others do. I don't know
Well,
how.
Ken Potter, there's a
but-
couple of varieties that Ken Potter has cherry pickers numbers, but it is not an officially recognized cherry pickers variety. He has a couple of those that he has given himself. He has given FS numbers to.
Well, you could send this to NGC,
Yes,
and they
but
will
you
actually
can't
put an FS 401 on the label.
Right. But PCGS does not recognize
I
that.
think
It needs to
Paula,
be
they
in
will
the cherry
recognize
pickers.
it at some point.
It
They
needs to
will.
what? No, they
They will
won't.
recognize it, I think.
No, they won't.
You don't think so?
No, I have seen people submit to them this, and it does not.
I'm saying in the future, I think they will recognize this variety.
That's what I'm
do
saying.
think
But it needs to be in the cherry pickers guide. This variety needs to be listed in the cherry pickers guide.
Oh yeah,
It needs to be. It's very popular. The popularity has shown since it's been discovered.
Yeah.
It definitely has all of the bells and whistles to be in the cherry pickers guide, and it needs to be. So I would suggest that if you guys get a chance, if you're so inclined, write to, I think Robert Lawson, is doing some editing on the cherry pickers. I think he did it on the last one. I think he's doing it on the next one. If you know him or you frequent CoinOp, maybe suggest that he puts it in there. Or takes a look at it and puts it up for consideration, maybe, because it definitely has the bells and whistles to be in that guide, and it needs to be in that guide.
Brian Allen is helping with it too, isn't he?
Well, or contact Brian. Somebody. It needs to be in there. It's time. I think that Weinberg kind of held on to it for himself. Now, that's just my opinion. I could be way off, but.
Carl has a good point. Here's the thing, Carl. Honestly, if you ask me, I don't think the 71D and the 73D would ever end up in the cherry pickers guide. I don't think that variety. I don't think it's low enough on the. I don't know. For some reason, the 75D is way more appealing.
It's out of place.
Yeah, I think the 75D is way more appealing than the 71D or 73D. To be honest, in my opinion,
it's almost under the date. If you know.
Yeah.
If you had the data top,
Yeah, it's all about the placement. That's where it's most relevant here.
And there's a few different coins that have odd Mitmark placement, and it definitely has a collector's niche for it. So, but a lot of people, I know Steve Mills loves these odd Mitmark placement coins. And they just, for whatever reason, they get skipped over. And for whatever reason, this one has been skipped over. I don't know. So, and NGC has had the market on it for a while, but it hasn't been in the guide, and PCGS won't recognize it. So there's something there. There's a story there, but yeah.
Now, if you submit this, I'm gonna be honest. Don't be surprised if it gets a details grade.
Oh yeah.
It's got some deep issues with it.
Yeah.
So just don't be surprised.
Yeah.
Not to mention what looks to be some sort of foreign substance there on the upper, under his chin. That area there.
Yep. Still though.
Cool. I don't think it needs to be submitted.
Yeah, I mean the last few eBay sales were raw, and they still sold for all the money. And if you didn't care about the coin, it's a good way to get some money. If you
I think people are anticipating that it's going to end up in the next cherry pickers guide. I really do. I think that people are anticipating that, and it should be. And if you're interested in that and you care at all, it doesn't hurt to give a little correspondence to them and
I mean, this coin has been in the news since Q. David Bowers put $1,000 bounty on it back in 2008. That's a long time ago.
Yeah.
So I mean, you could make the argument it should have been a cherry picker's guide back then.
Yeah.
So
right. got a lot.
I think there's a lot of varieties though that should end up in the cherry picker's guide that just aren't in
There
there.
are, and the ones that do, some of the ones that do, I scratch my head about. I just don't
Some of the
get
new
it.
quarters, did you see
Yeah.
those?
Yeah,
I mean,
I
come
don't
on.
get the
There's so
leaky
many better
bucket.
points.
The leaky bucket. What? Come on.
Or the
No.
5 on the cheek.
It's a dye chip for crying out loud.
Yeah. And there's so many of them. Whose turn? Is it Paula?
Yeah, it's my turn. Sorry. Mint error. This is a good one. From
Mhm.
Rick G. Hello. I found this quarter in a roll. Just wondering if it's an error. And I was so proud of these guys with this coin. I really was. They talked about this last night when I wasn't there, and I'm so proud of them.
I'll pat them on the head. Good job, guys.
So,
We did good.
yeah, you guys want to talk about what you finally came up with, and then I'll show everybody. I'll share the link with everybody.
Sure. Amanda, you want to talk about it?
No, you probably do though.
I think that. Okay. Well, no, Adam answered this one, didn't you?
Yeah.
think
Well, no, I didn't answer it. I think Amanda might have answered it.
Oh, okay. Well,
I'll tell you guys. So they came up because I'm just going to tell you guys. So they came up with defective planchet.
Defective.
Totally appropriate, completely appropriate for this. I know a lot of people would have said struck through. I'm not looking at what the chat's saying. A lot of people would have said struck through on this. But when you look at the reverse, you notice there's weakness, right? You don't see that with struck through. Shouldn't see any sign of anything on the opposite side.
And if it was damage, it would have probably protruded out of the other side.
And you would see the copper core, right? So I'm going to share this. So this is what's called it's a rolling mill error. And this is what's called a rolling indentation. It could also be like rolled in scrap, this particular one, but for the purposes of this. So this says a foreign object is rolled into the coin metal strip and falls out after the strip is rolled to its final thickness. The object can remain embedded in the subsequent blank or planchet, but falls out before the planchet arrives in the coining press. The result is an underweight blank that has a recess on one face. When struck, the coin displays that same recess and also shows weakness in the same area on the opposite face. So this one that's the example on Lincoln Cents really is pretty smooth. It looks like that one's like probably a piece of some kind of scrap. But what happens a lot of times with these clad coins, Ken taught me this, is that cladding will pile up in one area, and then eventually it just falls out. And that may be what happened here. It may be clad, it may be some kind of scrap, something. But it definitely happened pre-strike. And like I said, and you know that it was missing before the strike because you've got that weakness on the opposite side. So, but defective planchet kind of encompasses a lot of things. A clip is a defective planchet.
True.
So it's not wrong to use that term to describe it. Yeah, it's not wrong enough. So that was, I was really happy.
I love the way that Y looks because you can see the very top and then the very bottom.
The what?
The Y on Liberty.
Yeah.
See,
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, and you notice there's no, like Sean was talking about on that other one, there's no metal
filter
piled up on either side. The metal flows in towards the defect.
Right.
Yeah. So
you also got like a little bit of a kind of a weakness on the reverse where it's at.
Yeah, that's how we know it's not a struck through. because
Yeah, the only other thing that could happen that could cause that weakness on the reverse is if there was a full blown cud
Yeah.
Yeah.
on the opposite
Right.
side, and we
Right.
know that's not that by looking at the front. It's just
Right.
yeah,
Yeah.
pretty interesting. I've never seen one of these before.
Yeah,
Very
really cool coin.
Yeah, definitely.
Really cool people.
Really cool
also
coin.
in chat, we had over consistently
Yeah.
100 people all stream
Well,
long.
nice.
Awesome.
Wow. Thanks, you guys, so much. Thank you so much. That coin just demonstrates too what like the so I don't want to toot our horn. I hate doing that. We've taught, I do think that we provide a special service for you guys. And a lot of people would have looked at that coin and just tossed it back into change and considered it damage. But and it could have been, a lot of people do send us stuff and we have to tell them it's damage. But you have us here to help you, to make sure that you're not throwing something that could be worth a few bucks back into change. So use us, and tell your friends. And yeah, we like helping you guys out.
You're not too.
It's not an imposition either, It's
No.
like if you think a question is stupid, it's not. Save every peculiar looking coin that you come across and, show it to us. Yeah, the worst that could happen is like, no, sorry, that's postman damage. Or you get that lightning in a bottle and you're like, whoa, that's pretty neat. I haven't seen one of those in a long time. Then we could continue to talk, the conversation could carry on to more. So
Right, exactly. Yeah, and as long as you guys aren't in a hurry, we do get backlogged, and we appreciate your patience so much with us. But we do have the Facebook group too that you guys can use, and I encourage you to do that because you actually you will probably get your question answered faster through the Facebook group. But if you're not in a hurry, and you can be patient. I want to say one thing that we've talked about before. A lot of times we will send you a reply that kind of looks like it was computer generated or whatever. And it is a template that we use. So, but we send that to you if your pictures aren't what we need, or if you didn't ask a specific question, or for whatever reason. And it has it's a complete page of all of our guidelines, and they're there for a reason. So if you get that reply, read through the entire reply, and just know that there's a reason we sent it to you, and it's to help us help you better. We did get someone who ended up having to be blocked again because they didn't like that. Their pictures were sideways, and they said, "What do you think?" And they didn't like that we needed we are very busy. We don't have time to download your pictures and rotate and crop them for you. We need you to do that for us. And we can't read your mind. So we need you to be specific about what it is about the coin that you need to know. That's not too much to ask. So 99% of you guys are awesome, and you have no problem, and you go, okay, sorry, here we go.
And sometimes we just have to ask for more pictures because it's difficult to see some things.
Exactly.
Even if you have great pictures, you want to see it at a different angle, or you need to see where you think there might be a dye marker, or things like that, just to help you guys out. So,
and if we send you a link to something, click on it and read it. Or like sometimes we'll send you the minting process video. Watch it. Right? I mean, we know after a while the people that really want to learn and the ones that just want us to do the work for them.
Right.
And so after a while, if we see that, we're going to stop putting a lot of effort into helping you unless we see that you're helping yourself a little bit.
Or unless you pay us a lot of freaking money.
A whole ton of money.
Like at least 2 times what we get paid now.
A ton of money. So there's one thing, another thing I wanted to share with you guys before we leave. Let me pull this up. So our Brockage coin is going to be coming up for auction on Stacks and Bowers. It's already in the process of getting bids. The internet auction goes until the 26th of March, and then the live bidding. Well, the live bidding starts on the 26th of March. But the internet auction has 21 days, 17 hours, 4 minutes left. So I'm going to throw this link to you guys in the chat if you want to keep an eye on it. Probably none of us are going to be able to afford to bid on it. But you guys have been kind of following along with us with this coin. So you may want to keep an eye and see how it does and how it ends up, what the hammer price ends up being. I know we're going to be keeping an eye on it. So,
Yeah.
Chastina, this is the Missouri Centennial commemorative coin.
I mistakenly called it the Fort Vancouver. Yes, you're right. It's the Missouri. I love the Missouri.
This drawing was done by Bob Julian. This is actually a drawing. This is not a coin that's it's not a real coin. It's actually was drawn by Bob Julian.
Huh. That's cool.
yeah.
So Paula, can I share something before we go real fast?
Yeah, absolutely.
So get ready, everybody. Here we go. Let's see here. Some of you have already seen this photo, but
Oh Lord.
do you see it? Pull it up.
Creepy guy.
You guys see it? This is
It's the Oompa Loompa.
full-bodied apparition my friend caught in the theater that we were doing a hunt at. And you
It's
see right here.
Wolfman Jack.
Yeah, it's creepy. Like I got one. I'm gonna do a close.
Oh,
Oh,
he just
No,
took
you're not.
himself
You're
out.
not doing nothing.
Yeah, I don't think
Bye.
that guy likes to be seen. So,
Oh,
Frostbite,
frostbite.
thanks for the $5 to help
There's a thumb up.
Paula buy
for
the
thumbs up.
Brockage Fund.
And again, once again, thank you to whoever sent me this. That's such a shocker.
I hit the wrong button. Sorry.
Apparently.
There were stupid leave studio buttons right next to it, so I was like, "Oops."
Apparently.
That's
Here, I'll show
All
you
right.
guys.
Hey, Adam, can we get an overlay on that little apparition?
Right? I think it's Wolfman Jack.
Okay, here's the close up.
Oh, it's Gypsy Wolves.
See the eye? You can see the eye.
It's Joe McBride.
Show McBride.
So if you guys saw this, I mean, a lot of people would be kind of freaked out. And
Great Scott. Kind of looks
mean,
like
it
you
looks-
a little bit too.
You know what's funny? My friend said the same thing. She goes, "That kind of looks like you." I'm like, well, that's not good because they say that, if you see your doppelganger, that's bad luck, So I was like, that better not be me for sure. So
I don't think that looks like you.
But just so you know, there's spirits like this just watching your every move every day, and you can't see them. So.
Oh gosh, I hope not.
In the
That's embarrassing.
bathroom.
That's embarrassing.
So anyway,
It's probably
It's
Ken. It's
wild.
probably Ken Peavy is watching me.
he might be.
He
You
watches
never know.
me when I get out of the shower.
Whoa.
We need to
Frostbite,
do.
I don't know how you don't see anything.
We need to do. You need to do a short, Adam, and show the picture and then draw outline. The features so that.
I already did that. I have one of that.
Well, I know, but I mean, physically do because I just think it would be a cool short myself. But
I could do that. Yeah, why not?
you know what I'm saying?
That's
Anyway.
funny. Anyway,
On that
well,
note,
it's not Ray.
Appreciate
No,
the ghost
Ray's
pick right
still
before
alive.
bedtime.
Ray's still alive. Yeah, I don't have any other news.
All right.
Ron's going to be leaving Monday. for his little vacay. Adam, you're going to meet him in Colorado.
I will be leaving on Wednesday, and Ron Fry and I will be driving together over.
Oh, fun!
Yeah, you tell you it's right. We're gonna cherry pick the crap out of all the dealers.
Bunch of goofballs.
Yeah.
You guys better bring me an elongated scent. That's all I would say.
Yeah.
Yeah, bring an old
Elongated
Indian head
scent.
scent or something to roll it on. I got some nice ones here. Amanda picked me up some at the last show.
She did. She was telling us about that.
I got some beauties, man. Sean sent me some beauties.
Hey, you don't have those, huh?
No, he did. He sent me some beauties.
Shannon has a Popeye one I sent him.
Yep, it's hanging
Nice.
up on my wall.
All right. Well, if nobody else has any news to talk about, we're going to get out of here. You guys, thank you so much for coming. And yeah, if you have anything you want us to talk about in particular, shoot us an email. If you have any questions, it doesn't have to be about a specific coin. You guys go ahead and ask us. And you can send us an email and ask us questions, and we'll talk about it. So, all right. I guess we're done. Bye, everybody.
Hey guys. We'll see you.